Hey, I'm Adam Dyson, and today we're going to talk about what I like, what I don't like, and who should buy it. But this video is all about the DJI Spark. So another cool thing about this video is I'm going to film it all on the DJI Spark. So this footage is directly out of the camera, ungraded, so you can see exactly what the footage looks like. So let's talk about what I like. When this drone first came out, there was a lot of talk about how the DJI Mavic was pretty much the same size as the DJI Spark. But the Spark's all about the size when it's actually flying. So what I like the most about this drone is how small it is and how you can fly it through really tight spaces where you probably wouldn't fly the DJI Mavic. So don't get me wrong, I've never flown a DJI Mavic, and this is the first drone that I've ever had, but I still think that this is a really great size for a drone. It's a great camera that you can just pull out of your bag, put it up in the air and bring it back down, and it's just a really quick kind of process. So as I always say, the best camera is the one that you've got on you, and it probably goes the same way with drones too. The best drone is the one you've got on you. And a thing that really put me off when I was looking for a drone was the size. I didn't want to carry around another case, another bag. What I wanted to be able to do is pull it straight out of my bag, put it up in the air, get the shots that I want to, put it away, chuck my whole camera bag back on my back and go to the next place. So I think that was a big drawing card for me buying the Spark, and I think that's what I like the most about the Spark itself. So another thing I really like about this drone is the way you can charge it. So the charging platform that it comes with is great. It can charge 3 batteries at once, which really kind of speeds up the whole charging process. I think the thing that frustrates me the most about charging batteries in general is a lot of the time you can't charge 10 batteries at once unless you want to buy 10 chargers. So to have the ability to be able to charge 3 batteries at once, all on the one kind of power point, is a really great function. And it's kind of one of the main drawing points for this drone for what I do. I also love that you can just plug the cable into the back to charge the batteries. I'm an Android user, so I've got about 100 micro USBs just laying around the house. I've got one in my car, I've got power banks. So it's great to be able to just charge on the go by plugging into the back of the camera. The third thing is I really like the 1080p that comes out of the camera. It is only at 30 frames and it is only at a 1080 resolution. It's probably a little bit sharper than what I'd like to. I'd like to be able to sharpen that in post rather than sharpening it through the camera itself. But the footage that comes out of the camera is really quite good. So now onto the things that I don't like. So the camera does only shoot JPEG photos. They are at a decent size, they're 12 megapixels, so they're about the same as most phones. But it would be great to be able to shoot RAW photos. 1, to be able to control dynamic range, and 2, so you didn't have to pay too much attention to your exposure in the first place. But as a whole, the photos that come out of the camera are actually pretty decent, as long as you do watch the exposure and have a look at your histogram every now and again, just to really make sure that you haven't blown out those highlights. A little way that I've got around it is that I always shoot underexposed, and I do that with most of my photography anyway, because I always find that shadows are a lot easier to recover than highlights are to bring back. Hopefully in the future, DJI can bring out a firmware update to give us the ability to be able to shoot raw photos straight out of the camera. Another thing I don't like is something that could probably be solved quite easily by buying a little cable. But the DJI Spark doesn't actually come with a cable that runs from your remote into your phone. So what I find a lot of the time is the playback from the camera is a little bit jerky, which makes gimbal movements a little bit harder. So it's probably a problem that can just get solved by buying a little cable, but I'm not too sure why they didn't include the cable in the first place. So thirdly, and probably one of the main ones that I hear from all the DJI reviews, is that the battery life isn't very good. And it really isn't. They say you get about 16 to 18 minutes flight time, where really you probably only get 12, if not less if it's windier. I find that that's okay for the stuff that I do. So most of the time I'm only trying to get one shot, so I have an idea for a shot and I'll just do that one shot. But if I was trying to film a lot in one day, I think it would be quite straining just to have 2 batteries. So I guess buy as many batteries as you can. That way you can kind of cover all your bases with power, and it really gives you a chance to not have to charge too much on the go. So who is the DJI Spark for? People that don't want to add too much to their camera kit. I've already got a massive camera kit as it is, and it weighs probably about 15 kilos already. So I don't want to have to chuck in another 3 or 4 kilos for a DJI Phantom Pro and a controller and batteries and all that kind of stuff. So it's for somebody that wants to add those cinematic shots to their videos, but doesn't want to carry around a massive drone to add to the rest of their camera gear. So I think it's also for beginners, people that don't want to spend another $1,000 to get a Mavic Pro, but still want those drone shots in their videos. There's not a lot that I would change about it in that kind of price bracket. And I think that's the thing that we need to think about. These are relatively cheap compared to the other DJI drones. So for the price point, it's an absolutely awesome product. I'm Adam Dyson. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe below. And until next time, I'll catch you later.